Do you mind? Your dirty foot coverings are contaminating my pond. So direct you are. It makes my tongue wither and the answers dry up in my mouth. Go and bother someone else with your parching questions. Now you insult me? I'll have you know I can take care of myself. Since you mentioned it, I've noticed that my favorite pond has become somewhat stagnant. I bet if we had some Findon special blend, my throat would moisten right back up. Findon collects it from a secret location where the sea meets the swamp in perfect harmony. Contains just enough salt to nourish my scales without drying them. You can buy it from him or fill a bucket yourself. Then we can talk.
Red Mountain's bubbling and boiling like an overstuffed pot of fermented meat juice. I sure hope it settles down before something terrible happens. Is that for Cherish's water? Poor dear. Her scales are very sensitive, you know.
Welcome to our shop. Feel free to look around.
Would you be so kind as to move along? You're disrupting the current.
Despite all the excitement around the recent shipwreck, I'm in here, guarding the governor's office. I suppose someone might want to steal a quill or a stack of parchment, but still, my talents are clearly being wasted.
Well?
Ah, that feels much better. Now that's the proper way to ask a question. As a matter of fact, I did notice someone near the lighthouse that night. You keep asking the wrong question. I did not see anyone that night. I felt them. They made ripples in the water. I felt them stop by the tree that overlooks my pond. Then they moved off towards the lighthouse. Look to the tree, moist one. I prefer my waters to remain still, calm. Prying causes ripples, and ripples lead to more dry questions. Would you be so kind as to move along? You're disrupting the current. Talk of gods makes my scales itch. If the living gods really cared, they wouldn't make me suffer. Now take your religious foolishness and peddle it someplace else.
Do mind the guar. Isn't country life grand? It's like I'm right back at home in Cyrodiil. Aside from the giant fungi and adorable lizard chickens, of course. Running away from the war on the mainland, of course. More and more arrive each season. The new blood sends some dark elves into fits, but they agreed on shared borders when they signed the pact.
Not now, citizen. I'm up to my armpits in problems today. Really, Outlander, it's commendable that you're trying to learn our ways, but the words of the Tribunal just sound silly when you say them like that. I suggest you stick to sightseeing and leave the religion to us.
An outlander. I can never seem to get enough of your kind here.
You're welcome in Vardenfell, of course. Just obey the laws and refrain from causing trouble, and you'll get along just fine. What? What did you say? I suggest you leave now before I set the guards upon you.
Despite all the excitement around the recent shipwreck, I'm in here, guarding the governor's office. I suppose someone might want to steal a quill or a stack of parchment, but still, my talents are clearly being wasted. Word of advice: don't mention anything about the tribunal to the governor. He's not happy with some recent rules and regulations that have come down from on high.
Vardenfell can be a dangerous place. Slavers, rocks falling from the sky, a mountain threatening to explode. Makes me wonder what I'm still doing here. But who would feed these people if I left? I don't want that on my conscience. That's something to do with the tribunal, isn't it? I'm sorry, but I really try not to pay too much attention to the Dark Elves and their strange religion.
If you're traveling north and west, watch out for Ashlanders. House Redoran says they're savages. North and east, that's House Telvanni territory. They're crazy old wizards, the lot of them. And slavers to boot. Either way you go, watch yourself. That's a good one! That tribunal nonsense is almost as funny as some of the things I heard in Hrothgar. Say, if you want to get together later, I know a couple of body stories that I'd love to share. Do you like firm, juicy tomatoes? I've been told that mine are the best in the city. Go ahead and see for yourself.
What? Well?
Forgive me, Outlander, but I have enough to deal with. I'm just a simple tribunal priest, and the trouble at the ancestral tomb was too much for even our buoyant armiger to deal with. I have failed Lord Vivec, and left a colleague alone at the tomb. Lord Vivec sent the three of us to seek guidance at the Andrano ancestral tomb. We were attacked when we got there, and our guard was seriously hurt. I barely got her to safety, but we failed to complete the mission Lord Vivec bestowed upon us. Canon Levoul. He remained behind after we retreated from the tomb. I know he wants to get back inside and ask Lord Vivec's questions, but there's no way he can get past the Daedra, or ask the questions on his own. May the three grant him wisdom.
Taniza, what's wrong? Someone help!
By the three! First a wounded armiger, now this!
By dawn and dusk, evil creeps through the shadows of my beloved Vardenfell. But an outlander arrives to aid my people, just as I have foreseen.
Those words, what do they mean?
What happened?
Merciful Azura, the Mother Soul spoke through you. It's a miracle!
Lord Vivec, protect me! That was Azura, the Queen of the Night Sky. And you, she spoke directly to you, Outlander. I'm surprised the Daedric Prince would risk Lord Vivec's wrath to proclaim a prophecy. But she did say you were here to aid us. The Daedric Prince Azura possessed that woman and spoke through her. I've heard of such occurrences, of course, but to witness such an event... She said evil creeps through the land. I wonder if it has anything to do with what we saw at the tomb. We sought guidance in a matter that concerns Lord Vivec. I received specific questions to ask while Levoul concentrated on summoning his ancestor. The Daedra ruined those plans when they fell upon Urnsey, and we were forced to flee. Vile creatures from oblivion. You hear about an odd ghost or a nest of vampires, but never Daedra. Please, if they're still there, they'll rip Canon Levoul apart. He's definitely not a warrior. Just look at what they did to the buoyant armiger. The buoyant armigers comprise one of the military orders of the Tribunal Temple. They seek to emulate Lord Vivec's deeds through actions and words. Poor Urnsey. Those monsters went straight for her. Her blood flowed like lava from Red Mountain. Where are you from? Children learn of Red Mountain before they even taste Flynn. The mountain sits at the center of Vardenfell, periodically rumbling like a sleeping Nyx shaking its leg. Lately, however, it seems to be waking from its long slumber. Azura is the cruel but wise Daedric Prince of Dawn and Dusk. She's one of the good Daedra, for what that's worth. But for her to speak through an innocent means something terrible is about to happen. Why else would she dare Lord Vivec's wrath? What do they teach you where you come from? Lord Vivec's a living god! Azura is merely the anticipation of Sothasil. Vivec stands as the present and the future, while Azura clearly represents Vardenfell's past. So no, they don't get along.
Move along. Don't you have better things to do than quote my religion at me?
Welcome to our shop. Feel free to look around. Keep it down. We don't want to attract undue attention. But what happened? I thought I was supposed to go to the drop. You didn't come all this way just to give me my reward, did you? Already? Let me see. Oh, it's beautiful. I love working for the Tribunal. It's so much better than trying to earn a living as a thief in Vivec City. But where's your helmet? I've never seen an Ordinator out of uniform before. Oh, right. We're not supposed to talk about Ordinators in the Tribunal in such a public place. But it feels good to be doing holy work for a change. And such a simple task, snuffing out the lighthouse flame. I mean, Umsithi is the ending of words. Oh, that was easy. I put a sleeping draught in the ale they ordered for Watch Captain Bethes's birthday. The guards were unconscious within the hour. I hope I can be of service again. For the Tribunal.
Come, do your training here!
Is this all straight?
What is it?
An outlander.
Cause trouble, and you'll be sorry.
Watch your step.
well.
Unfortunately, the wreck of the vessel provided no additional clues. Were you able to discover anything during your investigation? The young woman who works with the grocer. I doubt the Tribunal would ask her to do something so reckless. Do you have any proof other than her word? This is disturbing. This parchment feels just like the sheets that Governor O'Melian special orders from High Rock. I'm going to need you to acquire another sample from the Governor's office. It's the only way to be certain. Not if I don't want him to know I suspect that he's working with the slavers, or the Tribunal, though I still consider that to be some sort of fabrication. No, if I alert him too soon, he'll just cover his tracks. Not the office. He keeps it in his private quarters, accessed through the guardhouse. But I'd never suggest that you sneak into his quarters and steal a blank sheet of his special parchment. That would be against the law. Do you understand me?